beautiful day to be a Raider, draped in the silver and gold. I represent the shield. I represent the swords. Oh, you know what time it is, Raider Nation. Oh yeah, you know what time it is. That's why you're here right now. That's why you take a little bit of time out of your evening to join me. Because you know what time it is. Oh yeah. It's
What's up, Raider Nation? I am the Commish, coming to you live from Hardcore Challenge Live Studios, deep behind the enemy line. This is Raider Reaction. What's up, Terry? What's up, King Eddie? What's up, Ryan, Michael, Carey? What's up, Matt? It's another beautiful day to be a Raider. So, tonight, we will be discussing Beast Mode, Reggie Nelson, the tight end battle at the depth chart battle. We're going to be doing an extra deep dig into the schedule and our opponents for the 2017 season, as well as end my show, as I always do when I'm here flying solo with my WTH. So, Daniel, you know, show cannot officially start till we crack a tall boy. So away we go. Share, share, share. Just like the man said. If you're watching, share it up. Show me some love. Love seeing them thumbs, love seeing them hearts, man. Throw them up there during the show. Let me know you're there. Let me know you're there. So obviously the biggest news going on right now in the Oakland Raider world is OTAs. We got OTAs going on, and I'm sure everybody's seen the video. The buzz was about, hi Kaylee, the buzz was about, what's up Steven? Everybody's seen the Beast Mode video. We all seen it. We all seen the Beast Mode video. Like, we're so starved for Raider football that we're all sitting around just drooling over on ourselves watching Beast Mode, running in practice without pads on. Like, look at him go. Just look at him go. But, you know, that's how starved we are for Raider football. Because I was just like, yeah, look at Beast Mode, man. Look good in silver and black. Put some pads on that boy. Let him start hitting somebody. Now, we did have an offensive lineman get banged up a little bit. Feliciano get banged up in OTAs today. Another lineman was standing over him. I had not heard what the final reports were on that, so I will try to have that for you tomorrow. Unless somebody can pull it up while on the show and share it with us in the comments, please do. John Feliciano, he went down. Looked like a right leg injury. I did not hear what the final reports were on that. So, if anybody can dig that up during the show, please do. Otherwise, I will make sure I have an update for you tomorrow on that. I know it's a knee injury. Well, is it bad? Did they carry him off? Did they have to drive a vehicle out, Chris? I mean, all I heard was it was a right leg injury. Everybody was standing over him, and that was about as much as I heard. So, if anybody else has any more info, like, I assumed it was a knee, but severity-wise, it was more of what along the lines I was looking for. So, don't want to see anybody going down when we're not even in pads, for Pete's sake. I mean, we don't want to see anybody going down, period, but especially we're not even in pads. I mean, that's not how we want to start off this this historic 2017 season. This guy's dropping in OTAs. We don't want to see that. Now, there's been a lot of talk because obviously the Oakland Raiders came out and with the first 2 picks in the 2017 draft, took defensive backs. Took Garyon Conley, cornerback at Ohio State with the number 1 overall pick, and then we took Obi Melifonwu out of UConn for a safety. Now, I still say Obi's going to be used as a hybrid corner, and sup, Captain Spaulding, is going to be used as a hybrid corner, and you're going to see him slide back and forth off that a little bit. And extra corner packages, he's going to be out there too. You watch. But that leads you to the question of, you went and got a safety, you went and got a corner, we got Emerson, we got Smith still, we got Carl Joseph, who picked up last season, who was solid, when healthy. He's healthy right now, so as long as he can maintain that. And then we had another guy who went to the Pro Bowl last season. The Predator, Reggie Nelson. Now, the signing of Obi and the hype on Obi since he's got to camp has put a bit of a question mark and a cloud around Reggie Nelson. Now, Reggie Nelson has talked to him, and he has no intention of backing off. In this position, he is the starter, and he maintains he will be by the time the season starts. So, yeah, I seen that assassin Angel Eyes. I wasn't even going to give him any minute of airtime, though. He's kind of a has-been anyway. But Reggie Nelson has been the talk. He's the old guard. He's the old guard back there in the defensive backfield for the Oakland Raiders. You know, you got Joseph, you got Emerson Smith, Garyon Conley, T.J. Carey. You know, Reggie Nelson, he's the old guard now back there. You know, he came over a few years ago, and he's the old guard. I'm a big Reggie Nelson fan, and I thought he played solid last season. He was good on the back end. It's just, I don't know, Ryan. I don't think Smith's the odd man out. They paid Smith a lot of money, and I think they're going to give him the second year to see if he can figure it out. Honestly, I honestly do. I don't think Smith's going to go anywhere. And you know, I'm not sure I want him to go anywhere. I'm kind of along the same opinion as his coaches probably are. I think another year in the system. To me, Sean Smith did not look like not a talented individual out there. To me, Sean Smith last season looked like a cornerback who did not understand what he was supposed to be doing, who came into a system that he didn't quite grasp yet, and he just didn't look sure of himself out there. That's what I saw out of Sean Smith. I didn't see a guy who can't play corner. So, I'm hoping this season, like, how many times I gotta say it? Rod Woodson in his ear. With Rod Woodson in his ear, I'm hoping this season that Mr. Smith can turn it around. Because, like I said, I'm typically forever the optimist. So I'm always like to think positive, but I'm telling you, that's what I seen when I watched him all season last season. It was not a guy who didn't have talent. It was not a guy who didn't have speed. It was not a guy who couldn't cover. It was a guy who didn't necessarily understand where the heck he was supposed to be all of the time, was out of position a lot, didn't hand off the guys properly, and he just didn't get it last season. So, sometimes it just takes guys a little longer to just get it. He came into a new system. What's up, CV? And, hold on. I seen some news up here. Lines brought some the news we were looking for. Feliciano's supposed to have MRI scheduled today on right knee, but he did walk off with no assistance. Well, that is good news. That is good news. I did not hear the walk off with no assistance part. That's a good bit of info right there. Thank you. Appreciate that. Good looking out. That's why. Who needs resource service? I got Raider Nation. All I gotta ask. Come on. Everybody's got Google. So y'all can have it. Y'all can have it as quick as some college intern at ESPN's paying too much anyway. So, like I said, back to the battle. Reggie Nelson, He's got the heart of a lion back there, man. He knows it's a young man's game, but he's quoted as saying he plans to teach the rookies how to be pros. So I suspect we'll see Reggie Nelson still hanging out back there. What's up, David? Now, another interesting position battle. Now, we have this signing. Tight end was an interesting position for the Oakland Raiders last season. You know, we just... Every time somebody looked like they were going to be the guy that would step up and be the guy, they weren't the guy. It was Walford for a minute. There for a second, it was Walford. You had Rivera for a minute. You know, you had Lee Smith for a second. You know, and you're just like, who's it going to be, you know? Somebody step up. Because Carr, you can tell DC loves throwing to the tight end. Because that's why these guys are getting a lot of looks. And that's why these guys are getting a lot of action. Because he likes throwing to the tight end. He needed a solid tight end. So we went out and got one. Got Jared Cook. So, obviously, the reason we went out and got him is we want a playmaker at tight end. We want an extra weapon. We want another weapon in the Swiss Army knife that we hand DC to go out with every week and play. We gave him that. He's another big weapon to add Coop with Coop and Carr. To add with our third, who's either going to be Cordarrelle Patterson or Seth Roberts, and you're going to send him out there with him. So it's a big addition. But tight ends, it's a lot of substitution in tight ends. So beyond Cook, the battle is deep at tight end. For who's going to back him up, for who's going to be the third, and who's going to be the fourth. Because most likely, they're going to carry three for sure. There's a good possibility it's going to carry four. No, Tim. No, Tim. We should not go get Macklin. We don't need Macklin. We're solid. On offense, we don't need nobody. We're good. We don't need nobody. We're good. The only questions on offense are who's the low-hanging guys that are going to get cut at the bottom of the depth chart. That's the only question on offense. Because other than that, on offense, we're stocked. We picked up Cordarrelle Patterson. All it comes down to this season is our wide receivers not dropping as many balls. That's it. We got guys that run talented routes. They're crisp. They're fast. We got a set of wide receivers that both went over 1,000 yards last season. We're coming back locked and loaded. We added Cordarrelle Patterson. We added Jared Cook. We added BeastMode back there behind Olawale. We already got solid running backs, and we added Elijah Hood back there in the running back carousel as well. So, all it is, like I said, all our offense is coming down. So who's the lowest hanging fruit that's going to get cut off the depth chart? We don't need Jeremy Macklin. He can go seek employment elsewhere. I hear they want you in Buffalo. Tyrod Taylor's clamoring for you. Give him a call. We don't want him. But when you're looking at tight end and who's going to be the guy that backs up Jared Cook, because ultimately somebody's got to back up Jared Cook. Somebody. Clive Walford. Now, I was high on Clive Walford, man. I thought he came out and he really showed some potential, but then he just fell off. He didn't continue the streak. I'd even picked him up for a brief second in fantasy football. and he actually hit for me for like a week or two. But then that was it. So, you got Clive Walford, and he's just an interesting story. He looked good. He finished with 33 receptions, 359 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Really no improvement over the... Yeah, Rivera's gone, Alfonso. Rivera's gone. Like I said, you'll see here. We got Clive Walford. We got Lee Smith. Smith is a solid. He's a 6'6", big, 7-year veteran, burly tight end, man. He's a good blocker. Smith's just a solid tight end. So you got him back there. So there's Walford and Smith, both backing up Cook. You got Pharaoh Brown, who's a rookie tight end, was an undrafted free agent signee, 6'6". He's a former Oregon Duck, 33 receptions and 426 yards, 5 touchdowns in his senior season. So we've got that rookie also fighting in the depth chart at tight end. You also got Ryan O'Malley, who came up from the practice squad to fill in when Lee Smith had went down last season. He actually wasn't bad either. He had a little flash. And so you've got him as well. Then you got another guy, also brought up off of the... Thank you, John. Appreciate. Thank you, my man. And then you got another guy, also brought up off the practice squad. Cooper Helfett. And then we got another guy yet. Gabe Holmes, who has been around just clamoring on the depth chart of the tight ends for about 4 seasons now. He's just done good enough to stay around and to pique interest. He's a big guy. So our tight end depth chart is deep. So that's the biggest questions we have on offense. It's not do we have. We've got an elite offense. Right on, John. Well, I hope I'll be seeing you on the team soon, my man. All you got to do is just sit back, let it flow. So, as I said, we're deep at tight end. And the only questions on offense is not if we have the pieces. We have the pieces. The last piece, thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate Pero. And the last piece of the puzzle was Marshawn Lynch, BeastMode. And when we went and got him, we stole the thunder right before the draft, night before the draft. Whole NFL, whole leagues talk about silver and black and BeastMode. Nobody's talking about the draft the next day. It was awesome. You know that was so planned. That was beautiful. Some PR guy deserves a big fat raise or a bonus for that one. To drop the pending news of Marshawn Lynch going to the Raiders right before the draft and to steal all the draft's thunder. Made it all painted it all silver and black. That was the biggest news. I mean, BeastMode was our first round draft pick pretty much. Garyon Conley was our second. Honestly. Because the biggest hole on our team was filled. The only really hole we had on offense was filled. We've added the big play tight end. We filled in all the other holes. Signed the future behind Penn. Offense is looking stout. It all comes down to defense, as we've been talking. It all comes down to defense. It all comes down to defense and health. Defense and health, and whether these young guys step up. We've got a couple young guys in Calhoun and Ward that need to step up from last season and make that little extra step this season. And then we need the new guys that we're bringing in to make that step. So, has he been cleared of what, Ryan, of the charges? He has not been charged with anything. I don't believe the DNA evidence is back as of yet. I'm sure we would have heard if it was. The story was originally that it was going to be 4 to 6 weeks before the DNA came back. And it hasn't quite been that yet. So, what's it been? Let's see, it was right at the... It's getting right around there, though. So, by mid-June... Exactly, it's just an allegation at this point. They said 4 to 6 weeks on the DNA evidence to come back. But, here's the thing. Supposedly where it was a little something went on there. A little something. And so there's probably a little DNA mixed, so... just because that even doesn't necessarily prove us. My jersey, it's a split. DC. Car. But, yeah. So, like I said, it's allegations right now. Right now that kid's on the field. Right now he's balling out. He's been playing with some first team. He's been playing with some second team. So... he's balling out, and he's so far. Thank you, Julian. So far, it's he is what we want out of a first round draft pick. So yes, there's a lot of allegations. I agree, Jameson. It's all allegations at this point, because you know what, man. Last season, if you guys remember or not, remember Ezekiel Elliott's ex-girlfriend came out right after the draft. She came out making accusations, and that just disappeared and nothing happened. It happens a lot. These guys start to come out. They see the chance to get a little money. That could be it. It could be nothing. It could be he's guilty. I don't think that's the case, but what do I know? I don't have the evidence. So, who knows? Who knows? So, but as always, man, thank you guys for joining me on a Tuesday night. Raider Reaction is here on Oakland Raiders football every weeknight, Monday through Friday, 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. On Monday and Wednesday, we spin it a little more league-wide as we drop it back deep in the pocket, let it fly league-wide. As we break it down, goes to the post with Prime and the Commish every Monday and Wednesday. But every single weeknight, Raider Reaction is here, giving you all the silver and black flavor and insight. So, I say it too. I say if she's looking for a little gold. She saw a little nugget. She saw some. I agree. I think she's a gold digger too. But I can't come out and she's an alleged gold digger. If he's an alleged whatever he is, then she can be an alleged gold digger until proved otherwise. It's so, because it's unfortunate the way our judicial system is, that even though she comes out and says anything, that they both get crucified at some point. It's just the way media is right now. Because it could turn out to be a whole lot of nothing. We'll see. She ain't messing with no broke bro. Alden Smith. Oh, Alden Smith's done, Ryan. We buried him. Alright. So, what I wanted to get into next was I have done some extensive digging and breaking down of the matchups and the teams and the schedule that we have this season ahead of us. A season that I see as possibly being a historic season for the Silver and Black. I see before the bye week a path of success laid out ahead of us. Oh, car's 100%. Oh, car's gassed up. Car is gassed up, sitting in the garage and ready to roll. It's shined up, just ready for us to take it out. Oh yeah. Our car's ready to roll. Oh yeah. It's all shined up, ready for a beautiful season. Can't wait. Well, we'll see if you agree with me still, Mr. Captain Spaulding, after we get done. You too, Cesar. See if you agree with me. Because I have done a little more extensive breakdown. Other than just, at first, I rolled through the schedule and gave my initial reaction. Then, the next time I went back in and did a breakdown, I looked a little deeper. And this time, I looked really deep. Back into the history and the records, how we've matched up with them recently. Now let's look at week 1 and focus on the first quarter of our season, which starts off in Tennessee. Now we play the Titans in week 1. Nothing yet, Chris. We're all still waiting. No news on Carr's contract yet. We're all still waiting. We don't talk about Alden Smith. He's an old girlfriend. We don't call him no more. We had to let her go. What's up, Stephanie? He's barely even been with us long enough to even be considered part of the team. So he's not worth talking about anymore. But Raiders at Tennessee. Now, let's just focus on the first quarter of the season. The first 4 games. Tennessee, the Jets, the Redskins, and the Donkeys. First 4 games. First quarter of the season. All of the first 4 teams that we play, we lead the historical series fairly significantly over every single team. The Titans, we have a 29-20 record and have beat them the last 2 times we have played them. Most recently as last year, which we beat them 17-10, and the year before, which we beat them 24-21. Well, in week 1, Tennessee Titans, Houston Oilers, Tennessee Oilers, whatever you guys are. You were Oilers till you moved there from Houston and then realized there was no oil there, so now you're Titans, I guess. Titans. Whatever. What's a Titan anyway? I mean, I know what a Raider is. We know what a Raider is. What's a Titan? But, so, that's a W, man. That's week 1. That's a W. We've beat them the last 2 seasons. They've gotten a little better. A truck. It's a Nissan! Well, I know that, Lions. Come on now. But there's just some of those names you're just like, what is that? Like baseball. To spin completely off subject. Like, what's a Met? I mean, I know it's the Metropolitans, but what are you, the New York City people? I mean, I don't know, it's just this, there's some strange names. And that's just one of them, the Titans. I always just thought it was an odd name. But we've owned the Titans recently, so there's no reason we don't own the Titans again this season. We're going there. We were the Road Warriors. We were 6-2. What's up, Brian? We were 6-2. What's up, Rip Raider? We were 6-2 last season on the road. Straight Road Warriors. And there is absolutely 0 reason that does not happen again this season. 0 reason that does not happen again. An Oriole is a bird, Ryan. An Oriole is a bird. I'm sorry. An Oriole is a bird. I do know what an Oriole is. Come on now. You don't know. Oh, that's just funny. Alright. Now, then, we get this nice, which I think is a very favorable matchup. I think Tennessee is an up-and-coming young team. I think they're an up-and-coming young team who's a little behind the curve behind us, who's a much more up-and-coming team than they are. So, but I think it's going to be a good battle, and I think it's going to be a good test for us in week 1. I don't really follow baseball either, Ryan. I'm kind of a Rays fan just because of geographically where I'm at, but I've always been more of a player fan in baseball, kind of like I was in basketball, so it's cool. I completely understand. But lost my train of thought. But I think we'll do alright. So then you're in week 2. We get to come home after the week 1 in Tennessee. And we get the Jets. We get the Jets with Josh McCown. Josh McCown's just the guy they stuck in there. They're like, listen, man. Listen, guys. Here's how the boardroom meeting went. Listen. I looked at the draft for this season, and there's not a quarterback that we want. But I see a guy next season that I think there might be some next season. So why don't we just get a guy this season that we can just stand up there and just fill the spot, and we'll get a really great draft pick, and we'll draft our guy next season. Yeah, let's do that. Why don't we call Josh McCown? I mean, that's everybody's. Hey, why don't you call Josh McCown? If you just need a guy to stand up there behind center and prop him up and make it through 16, call Josh McCown. So, they got Josh McCown because they're playing for the high draft pick next season. So Josh McCown's going to get stood up back there. He's just going to have a fullback with his hand in his back most of the season holding his ass up because they are going, that poor guy, man. And Josh is a good guy. He's always been a serviceable veteran quarterback. He was a Raider for a minute. He's got a Raider jersey mixed in there with the other 50 jerseys he's got in his closet. He's got a silver and black one mixed in there too. So, you know, he's been an alright guy. But he's getting sent to slaughter this season. Straight slaughter. I mean, at least send the young kid Christian Hackenberg out for some slaughter. You drafted him last season. Why ain't you sending him out? Whatever. 2-0. I agree, King Eddie. Moving on. 2-0. 2-0. Easily 2-0. Moving out of week 2. Now, that's on the road. Then, coming back for the home opener against the Jets, September 17th. Take them down. Now we go back east. The bink, bink, bink. We go back east to play the Redskins, who again, we lead the historical series 8-5. Now, we haven't had the great success the last couple times we've played the Skins. They have gotten the best of us in 2013 and in 2009. But the last time they played us was 2013 and 2009. And we know what that was. That was the era of suck that we all would like to block from our memory and, you know, have post-traumatic stress from thinking about that decade. I don't like to think about it. I've tried to block it from my memory. So, that was in that era. It's a new day now, Redskins. And we don't come knocking, but only every 4 years because you're an NFC team. So, it's time to come knocking again. The silver and black's at the door, and we got a gassed up car with a Swiss Army knife of weapons coming for you. They had a fire sale there, complete fire sale in Washington, got rid of all their weapons. Deshaun Jackson's gone. Telling you, they are not the team they were last season. They weren't even that great of a team last season. They only went 9-7. And I see the Redskins not being even an above 500 team this season. They're going to be garbage. And, oh yeah, Alfonso, that's right. Khalil Mack's going to give him a, what's up, in the backfield. Oh yeah, he's going to be meeting him. You're going to meet Defensive Player of the Year, number 52, Khalil Mack. Oh yes, he will introduce himself in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital. He's going to give him a what's up back there. Oh yeah, I see it. Absolutely. Maybe him and Mario Edwards will give him the high-low back there. And, yeah, what do you think about that, Kirk Cousins? So, go back east, Road Warriors, leave with a win. We're 3-0. This is the pivotal game that I see in the first part of the season. Because you got a team that I think is going to give us a good game in Tennessee, but I don't think they're really going to challenge us because I think the hype and the Raiders are going to be hyped. Have DC back out there, got BeastMode there. I think the hype of the offense, I think the offense is going to blow up in week 1. I honestly think they're going to come out and show no rust on offense, and they're going to blow it up. It's all how our defense does in week 1. Then in week 2, I don't see the Jets standing a chance at all. And I don't see Washington standing a chance at all either. I see those first 3 weeks as us just stepping on the gas and putting up a ton of points. So you're feeling good about yourself. You got those 3 games. Not terrible high-level competition. And then you're coming from the East Coast trip in D.C., coming back west, but you got to stop off Donkeyville. The first divisional game of the season. And it's the Broncos. The Donkeys. At Donkeyville. It's the pivotal game. The team's going to come in high as a kite. Feeling like $1 million because they're going to be 3-0. They're going to light it up the scoreboard. And they're going to come in big. This is a big game. They take these guys down and come into 4-0. I think they make a statement in division right there. I do believe, and I'm predicting, and I'm heavily predicting, man, I may put some money on down. I think we start out the season 4-0. Absolutely think we start the season 4-0. 100% think we start the season 4-0. Now, of course I want to say the Raiders are going to go 16-0. We're going to run the table. We're going to be the first team to go undefeated since the 72 Dolphins. We're going to win it all. We're going to win it. I'm a realist, man. I'm a realist. You have to sit down at the schedule. And when you're looking at the schedule, you got to look for where you think you're going to drop a couple. And it comes to situational, and it's the way the schedules shake out. There's just trap games. And there's scenarios that cause trap games. And this scenario concerns me. You come out of the first quarter of the season 4-0, which I 100%, 150% believe we will be. And then you have a 3-game homestand. After you played 3 of your first 4 on the road. 3 of your first 4 on the road. And you're 4-0. So you're looking like the Road Warriors again. But then you come out of that and you're feeling invincible. We just took down Denver, man. Took down Denver. We're 4-0. We got Baltimore. We got the Chargers. We got Kansas City all at home. You end that 3-game homestand on a primetime game on Thursday night on a short week after you play the Chargers. So within 4 days, you've got Chargers-Chiefs. On October 15th, we play the Chargers. October 19th, on that Thursday night, we play the Chiefs. And you got the Baltimore game the week before the Chargers game. The Baltimore Chargers, those 2 games right there concern me. And I think one of those games is where we slip up and one gets away from us late. There's always a clunker game. There's always something that happens. There's just one that squeaks away, and I think it's one of those 2. I do not think it will be the Kansas City game. I think the Raiders are going to be hyped for the Kansas City game. I think we know that both Kansas City games are gigantic this season, that they are must-wins, and we must take them down. So I do not see any problem. So, through week 6, I see us 5-1 coming into the Kansas City game in week 7. Like I said, that Thursday night game against the Chiefs, I see as being a gigantic game. It's on prime time. It's Thursday night football. Everybody's going to be watching. We're gonna be 5-1 coming into that game. The Chiefs could have a very good record as well. It's going to be a huge game at the beginning of the season for the AFC West crown. Huge game. Right now, Kansas City leads the series with us, 62-52 with 2 ties. We have lost the last 5 games against Kansas City. Those days are over, Raider Nation. Those days are over. We have lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of the last 8 games against Kansas City. That will not happen anymore, Raider Nation. The Chiefs have peaked. They went and got the Fat Walrus. He went and got all the guys that he wanted to build his team. They got, here's the top of the mountain, and they got close. But you ain't got the tools to get to the top of the mountain. You ain't got the tools in your backpack to get to the top of the mountain. And you ain't got the guy leading you to get you there. So you ain't going to get there. You ain't going to get there. You already told Alex Smith, we only give you 1 more year. You only got 1 more year, and then we're going with this Mahomes guy. The one that's got no footwork and concrete feet. We're going to go with him. We're only giving you 1 more year, Alex Smith, and then we're going to take your number 2 wide receiver and just get rid of him. You know, when you couldn't even throw any touchdowns to wide receivers as it was, we're going to get rid of your number 2, who's a buddy of yours, not even tell you about it. But we got your back for 1 more year. I'm telling you, the Chiefs peaked last season, and they are going down the toilet this season. Absolutely. Week 7 is another W. Raider style. W. Thursday night. Prime time. See you, Brian. Peace out, bro. Done. Done. So you're coming out of your 3-game homestand. You've dropped 1, but you come out of the homestand 2-1. You come into week 8, 7-1. Excuse me, 6-1. And you go on the road to play Buffalo, to play Miami. Miami is a night game. Prime time, Sunday night football. Big game. It's the last game right before the bye week. They're going to have a great record when they come into that. But first they got to take down the Bills. The Raiders come in leading the series 21-19 against the Bills. We have won the last 2 times we've played them, including last season when we beat them 38-24. We beat them again in 2014, 26-24. What's up, Drea? So, we historically own the Bills. We've beat them the last 2 times. We beat them last season. Do you think they got any better? They upheaved their coaching staff. They've overhauled their team. Come on. We're going to run a train on the Buffalo Bills. It's going to be ugly. Ugliness. Then we're going to go down to Miami. Down to the Dolphins, where we also lead the historical series. Lead the historical series, 19 wins, 17 losses, and 1 tie. Now, surprisingly enough, this is shocking. This one shocked me, Raider Nation, because there was a time and a period where we never lost to the Dolphins. Well, that time and a period has been a while ago. Because we have lost to the Dolphins the last 5 times we have played them. We have lost to the Dolphins 8 out of the last 9 times we have played them. I do not see that happening this season. I do not see that happening. That is a trend that will not continue. That team and that era is over. And that was shocking. Is that not a wow, Jameson? That's a shocker. I was like, am I reading that right? It's like, can that be right? But then you look back here, and man, in the 80s, and into the 90s, we absolutely owned the Dolphins. And through all the early years, but the Dolphins had caught up. So, this year, we're going to buck that trend. Oh, you betcha. We're going to buck that trend. And we're going into the bye week at a solid 8-1. Week 10. Bye week. Now, here's your next pivotal game. Like I said, the first pivotal game I see of the season is Denver, week 4. Oh, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be down there in South Beach. I'll be at the Miami game. Oh, you better believe it. I'll be at the Miami game. We're coming out. The first pivotal game is in week 4. The next pivotal game is you come out of the bye week. Go into the bye week. We're 8-1. You get the rest. And then where are we going? Oh yeah, we going south of the border. We going to Mexico City. We're gonna go play the defending Super Bowl champs on neutral ground. Let's get it. Your dynasty's about to end where your dynasty started. Come get some. The shield's waiting for you. Come get some. Cheatriots, come get some. Khalil Mack wants to say hi to Tom Brady. And he wants to say hi to Tom Brady in Mexico City. Now, I think we're going to be hype. Beyond hype. Got 2 weeks to get ready for this game. The Raiders are going to be so hyped for this game. I don't see any way we don't win this game. We have lost the last 4 games we have played the Patriots. And that is over. Those days are over. 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 No way. Over. So there you are. 10-1. 10-1. Then here, unfortunately, is where I see the possibility, as much as I hate to say it, of another clunker. We go to Mexico, coming out of the bye week, 2 weeks to get prepped, hyped, you win it, bam, you win it, big. You're 9-1. You're 9-1. You were 8-1 coming into the bye week. You came out. You beat the Cheatriots. You're 9-1. You're 9-1. And we got to come back home, and we got 2 games at home. I'm not going to say which one. Kind of like I saw the Baltimore Chargers earlier. This 2-game homestand, I see one of them getting away. I hope it's not the Donkeys. But I don't want it to be the Giants either. But one of them's going to get away from us. And we're going to drop to 9-2. We're going to drop to 9-2. I think one of those, it's just that there's just this, the situation just presents itself and sets itself up. And I just think that's where one gets away from us. Now, the next 2 games is where I think the team steps up. Because you need a couple of those losses to build adversity. So right now we're sitting at 9-2. After week 13. Excuse me, 10-2. Right? 8-1. 9-2. So you're sitting at 10-2. Coming into week 14. And it's at Kansas City. I'm afraid so, King Eddie. You got to look at it somewhere. That's what I'm trying. You got to look at it somewhere, because we're not going to go 16-0, guys. As much as I want to say we are, we got to be real with ourselves, and we're not going to go 16-0. So you've got to look at these situations where it presents itself on the roller coaster that is the NFL season that primes you for a possible game where one just gets away from you. And I think the homestands are where we're going to let our guard down. We proved last season that when we have to have our guard up and we are on the road, we're fierce. I agree anything can happen, Jameson. I agree. By God, I hope I'm wrong, my man. Do I hope I'm wrong? And everybody, hey, I would love to everybody tell me I'm wrong and we go 16-0. I'd love to be wrong and we go 16-0. I would love nothing more. Love nothing more. I could care less if I'm wrong if we go 16-0. Could care less. But coming into that Kansas City game in Week 14, I'm telling you, just like the Kansas City game earlier in the season, we're going to Kansas City and we are going there for blood. And we know that is for the division, second to last division game of the season, and we take that one. We take that one, and then we come back home. Relish the celebration of beating the Chiefs. Sitting at 11-2. And we take down Dallas in Oakland. I'm telling you, that right there, we're going to go to Kansas City, vanquish our nemesis, claim the division crown, come back, feast on the blood and the meat of our conquered foe in down Dallas in the Coliseum. We're sitting at 12-2. Now, unfortunately, I think at 12-2, we are going to completely have the AFC West secured. I do not believe there's going to be any challenge left. We played 2 road games, one on Christmas in Philadelphia, and then one at the Chargers in LA to close out the season. The Chargers are going to be sitting in the cellar, and I don't think Philadelphia is going to be much of a challenge either. They're going to be middle of the road in the NFC East. And I feel that one of those, whatever, your number 1 seed and got bounced. Number 1 seed and got bounced. With your Wonder Boys. Yeah, it's your Wonder Boys. But we're going to drop one of those last 2 games. And we're going to roll in. It's going to come down to whoever finishes, how the other teams finish in the rest of the AFC. But we are going to come in and close out the season at 13-3. 13-3 is what I'm on the record for. 13-3. I feel we're going to drop one in the 3-game homestand early. And it's going to be between one of either the Ravens or the Chargers game. And coming out of the New England game, we are going to drop one in between the Denver and Giants game. And then we will possibly drop one at the end of the season on the 2 road games because I feel we're going to have it locked up and we might take the foot off the gas there at the end of the season. So, yeah. We will see, but I am on the record at 13-3. Come on now, Dallas fan. Now, I do not believe the Cowboys are even going to make the playoffs this season. I see them scraping and possibly grabbing a wild card, but that is going to be it. I think you're going to have a big-time sophomore slump. I don't think you're going to be as successful as you think you're going to be this season. So, you better get ready. You better get ready, because I don't think you're going to be as hype as you were. See, because the trend is in the NFL is you're supposed to build up over a couple seasons. These teams that flash up quick and spike quick, fall quick. That's the way it works. It's history, my brother. The teams that gradually kind of work up, get a little better one season, get a little better one season. Hey, telling you, check your history books. That's the way it works out usually. That's how it typically trends. But, we'll see. Hey, And I'll be happy. Mark down your calendar. The Black Friday before the Cowboys game. You come on back. I'll put you on. We can debate it then. And then you can come back after the game. We'll see. Because I'll be right here. I'll be right here. But will you be? Will you be? We'll see. We'll see. Mark this in your favorites. Alright. So, like I said, 13-3. 13-3, and along with that 13-3, you know what's coming in tow with that 13-3? An MVP for DC4. Derek Carr will take home the league MVP after his 13-3 effort, leading the Oakland Raiders into a number 1 or a number 2 seed. It all comes down to how the rest of the AFC conference shakes out. We will be 13-3, and that will be good enough to get us a first round bye. It's just whether we end up with the 1 or the 2. Of course, we want the 1, but the first round bye, it's nothing to scoff at. Now, as I end my show, as I end every one of my solo shows on Raider Reaction when it's just the commish, breaking it down with the silver and black, I end it with with a WTH. So tonight's WTH, I'll keep it in the NFL. It's not silver and black, but I will keep it in the league. And it's involving a quarterback. Was a Super Bowl caliber quarterback not long ago, not very long ago at all. Super Bowl caliber quarterback, and then all of a sudden he completely disappears, drops to a backup quarterback. Decides as a backup quarterback that with all the unrest going on in the country, that he is going to take it upon himself to be a lightning rod for this unrest, and he's going to take a knee. So, as soon as his knee hit that ground, his phone stopped ringing. Now, said quarterback needs a job. Nobody will call him. The only team that he really fit in their scheme ends up signing Austin Davis. Austin Davis. Colin Kaepernick, former Super Bowl quarterback. Can't get a job. But Austin Davis. And you know when you heard Austin Davis, you all had to go like, Austin Davis? Who the hell is Austin Davis? You know, I did. And I was like, oh, I remember him. Like, for a brief fleeting moment with the Rams, I remember him. Good God. Austin Davis? Colin Kaepernick, what happened to you, man? What the hell? And Seattle Seahawks, a double what the hell for Austin Davis. What the hell? So, what do? Every single weeknight on Oakland Raiders football. Starting at 9 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Pacific, going to 9 o'clock Pacific. 10 o'clock Eastern, go to 12 o'clock Eastern. We go coast to coast. We start right here on the East Coast with a solid hour with the commish and Raider Reaction. We throw it deep to the West Coast for another solid hour with the infamous Raider Bear. That's how we do it. Every single weeknight on Oakland Raiders football. We go coast to coast. So I'll be right back here again tomorrow night, breaking it down again as we drop back deep in the pocket and go deep league-wide. Because how do we do every Monday and Wednesday? We go Ghost to the Post with Prime and the Commish. So, thank you for joining me, each and every one of you. Nothing but mad love for the Raider Nation. Nothing but straight fire for the Cowboys troll. But whatever. Hey man, it's a league of 32. And it takes all of us to make the thing that we all love. Thank you, Alfonso. Thank you, April. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, everybody that joined me tonight. Raider Bear, take it for 6. Peace, love, Raider Nation.